Welcome back to Meeke. It is time for one of my funnest parts of the show. I call this "No, This Is Real" because it's the part of the show where I've pulled all these headlines, just kind of perusing the internet, and I come across all of these things that I go, there's no way that this is a real story, but lo and behold, it's actually a real story, and I need someone to talk this over with me. I need someone to think this through. Now, normally, I've got Eva Tagliano.
That's
Eddie
right.
V.
Yes.
Anyone who watches Meeke on a regular basis would notice immediately you and Ed, not the same person.
I'm slightly shorter.
So, but
Right.
But no less funny, right? And so, or insightful, because not all of the headlines are funny. And so I'm really excited.
When you're talking about bubonic plague and things.
No, that's
right.
Exactly right. That's not funny. That's a serious thing that we need to watch out for. But no, my friend Paul Bass in studio here with me, and we are going to discuss this week's headlines. No, this is real. And I just want to say, like Eddie V, you have no idea what these headlines are.
No idea.
No
I'm
idea.
tempted to look down at that paper right there, but I'm not going to.
This is my manila folder titled, No, This Is Real. So here we go. You ready for this?
I guess.
Real headlines here, Paul.
Throw it at me.
Okay, here we go. New York City mom has just started a business where she charges parents $350 for several sessions of babysitting, so to speak, right?
Mm-hmm.
You bring your kids. She's going to take them to the park and let them play. She's going to leave them at the park and go to a coffee shop. So basically, she wants to let kids play unsupervised, and she wants you to pay her to do it.
Okay. So she wants to pay you.
You pay her. $350.
You pay her.
Yes. For
to
several
leave your
sessions.
children unattended.
That's right. That's right. Her name is Lenore Skenazy. And a few years back, she came under huge scrutiny in New York because she let her then 6-year-old son ride the subway. She says that kids don't have enough freedom. They're not free to play and be kids because parents are smothering them. So she has started a movement that she's going to let your kids play unsupervised, and you're going to pay her to do that.
Meeke, I don't know exactly what to tell you. I mean, it's like my Uncle Jim, basically. He should have gotten paid. Because
Did he babysit you growing up?
Yes. Yeah, just babysit and go off and watch like football games and things, and his house would be a wreck. But he didn't get paid for that. Right.
Well, this woman, she wants to get paid. Your Uncle Jim's watching. He's going, I took good care of you kids. Well, I did my best.
It's a child's dream, though.
Yeah.
They want to be at a babysitter's who doesn't do anything.
Yeah, exactly right. And so this mom is offering to do that. She says, you bring your kids, you drop them off. I think it's like Central Park or something like that. She goes to a coffee shop, and your kids are there, and she will leave them alone. Why do you need to pay her for that?
Yeah, just stick them on the subway.
Just right, exactly right. I mean, she did it with her kid, and
that's what, $1 maybe?
Maybe.
Just stick them on the subway and say, see you later.
Yeah, but do you think that her whole point here is that parents are smothering their kids, that we're too close, and there was a time when we could tell our kids, go out and play in the yard or go out and play on the street, kind of a thing, and we don't do that anymore?
The problem is the situation and culture today, and why would we do that?
You can't.
And like I said, it's a child's dream to be thrown out there unattended.
Unattended to, right? And you don't know.
Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, exactly right. Some parents have actually referenced that movie and talking about this article. They're like, that's what she's wanting.
Well, basically, she's not going to make any money.
No, I mean, who's going to
hire
pay
her?
for that? I don't know.
Except my Uncle Jim.
Except your Uncle Jim, because it would validate what he did all those years babysitting
right.
you
He's
guys.
He's feeling better now.
Okay, moving on. Paul, TSA is in the news a lot. TSA agents, because people fly a lot. There's, and they're constantly coming under scrutiny. Sometimes they're just doing what they were trained to do. They're just doing their job, but people have complaints from, everything from pat downs to like going through your stuff, all of these things. Here's a headline. And I thought, well, TSA really asked for it. So TSA, an agent, apparently kicked a woman off of her flight
Not literally kicked, though.
No, not literally kicked.
Escorted her off.
They escorted her off of her flight.
Kicked would be funny.
Kicked would be funny, and you could see an agent doing this.
Right.
But here's the reason. They didn't like her attitude. TSA agents didn't like her attitude. Now, just some background. Let me tell you the story. They wanted to check her drink. She had some water. They wanted to check her drink for explosives.
Right.
She had already gone through the security check. You know when you enter the portion of the airport where you can then buy food because everything's been checked?
Oh, yeah. And
they wanted to screen her drink for explosives, and she refused. And so they said, well, you're not going to be able to make your flight. And she says, and I want to quote her, she goes, let me get this straight. This is retaliatory for my attitude. This is not making the airways safer. And the TSA agent says, it pretty much definitely is.
Okay. Did she have an attitude before she got her water, or did it just start at the water?
Probably not. Probably it was the water.
I take this attitude like, okay, you can look at my water, you can look at under my shoes.
Yeah.
Anything like that, please let's, keep our hands to ourselves kind of thing. But I want the other people to be safe. I want to be safe too.
Right, exactly right.
So why pitch an attitude?
Yeah. Well, so you're saying the passenger should not have had an attitude.
I'm saying be compliant.
Oh, okay. This is good, Paul. This is really good because
just because I'm a guy?
Well, I don't know, because see, when I read this story, this is really good. I thought, why do you scan a person's water once they pass the security checks?
Right.
And if there's no legal action that could have been taken, where's the authority to kick her off the flight?
Yeah.
But you're saying she should have just complied.
Just comply. And then your life will go much better.
So now let me ask you this. Do you think that a TSA, I'm not going to get into I'm just, because this was attitude driven. They didn't like her attitude.
Right.
So imagine yourself, you're going through all these checks and you're doing all of these, say there's a pat down and you're rolling your eyes and you're just like, should the agent then be able to say you can't fly because of your attitude?
Yes, they should be able to say I can't fly because of my attitude.
Paul.
I should be compliant to the agent.
Paul, I don't know. I don't know what to say. This is real.
Yes.
I can't, okay.
Yes.
Okay, so you think she deserved to miss her flight because of her attitude?
Well, I think her attitude made her miss that flight.
Wow. Okay, see, this is because of your Uncle Jim babysitting you. This is because if you had proper babysitters.
That's
I'm
right.
just kidding.
That is true.
This is good. I wasn't expecting that. You know what's funny, though? I keep asking you the question because, I hope if I ask you one more time, you're going to change your answer. You're not going to change. You're not going to change your answer.
And
so there you
before
go.
you know it, I'm going to have an attitude.
You're going to be kicked out of that seat, right?
Here
we go.
Check the water.
Check
I'll let
the water. I guess there is something to be said of obeying the rules and following the rules and being complicit, like wanting to.
Well, it's not her plane, you know.
Yeah. Okay, here you go. I don't know if you're ready for this one.
Well, probably more ready than I was the last, but go ahead.
Okay, last story here. South Korea, now known as the makeup capital of the world, but not just any makeup capital of the world, the male makeup capital of the world.
Okay. South
Korean men, according to some research done, spent $495 million on skincare just last year.
Okay.
That's nearly 21% of all global sales. So they made up, the men, 21% of sales around the world. Now, here is what's interesting. Male-dominated South Korea, right? Okay. Men, kind of almost, machismo kind of a thing, taken to wearing makeup and caring about their appearance. And here's what they say.
Okay.
Appearance is power. Appearance is power. This is real. What do you think?
Okay. Well, there's so many ways you can go with this. Okay. First of all, it says skincare products, so there's a difference between skincare products and makeup. So somewhere in there, you have to divide that up.
Okay.
But, all right, and I was going to say, before you mentioned men, I was going to say makeup capital of the world, they must have unseated my college, because I went to a small college in the 80s, let me remind you.
Okay.
And where women regularly look like a tropical fish.
So you're saying that the
I'm talking the makeup. If you, okay.
That's
you
bad.
You hug their face print. It's like the Shroud of Turin, you know, like this face is on the side of your shirt. So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know, but then you went to the men thing. Okay, now the women, it's equal rights, because now the women, you give the hug, and now the women are going to have this lasting impression of the guy that they went out on a date with.
Because they actually, you're right to catch that. It's skincare products, but it's also makeup, Paul.
Yeah.
They're also doing, you know, and lipstick and eyeliner and all those things. I don't know. It's just a little bit too much on the edge for me.
Well, okay. First of all, does RuPaul live there in South Korea? Because that might be the only reason why they have so much skincare products being bought.
I guess.
And so much makeup.
From one person,
you know,
from the RuPaul.
And Boy George, maybe. You know, from the 80s. I don't know.
It's a shame, but there's a lot of influence there, and Korean men have now moved to makeup, saying that makeup, having good skin is an indication of success and power. So,
well,
anyway.
Success in maybe circuses?
Yeah, maybe so. Coming up, we'll be right back. Sherry Rigby is in studio with me. We're going to talk October Baby. Make sure you don't go anywhere.
Still ahead on Meeke.
And he got up there and he shared the message of grace. And it was the first time that I had heard the message of grace. And I thought, that's it. That's it for me. My husband was the same way, because I got home and the coolest thing is that he had already printed the script. I was given a chance to share my story, something that had been holding me captive for 20 years of my life.